Hey everyone, went ahead and picked up one of these little butane canisters. Try to experiment with using it as a fuel source instead of that. So I went ahead and bought one even though I don't have anything that uses them because well, I had to get one in my hands and try to figure out how I can tap into this thing. This valve, the Lindell valve, with the threads, the 7/16 by 28 extra fine, I started thinking that this was a very proprietary design, but it isn't, at least not to the extent that I had previously thought. And I was at Walmart and it hit me. I have seen this exact thing before, and it is for these little air horns. The little tank of propellant this screws onto has this identical setup on top. There it is. Headphone users, you know the deal. Wasn't that loud, was it? I wonder if there's something up with this diaphragm in here. Looks okay. Woo! There it goes. So I don't know, maybe if you got one of these horns, you can use it on this butane bottle. And so I took one of these horns and I yanked that brass piece out. And I soldered it to this. And here you see I've got a little piece of stainless steel pipe tube with a notch cut in it, and as you screw this thing onto the tank, there's a little rubber seal inside here. And so you notice in here there's no other O-ring, because once that tube gets squashed down inside here, the seal inside here seals around that little tube. And so that brass piece out of that air horn gave me a way to attach something to this tank. And now and there it is. And then attached to it this needle valve. This needle valve is off of a radio controlled model truck that uses the methanol fueled engine. This is the fuel mixture needle valve, and it allows me very fine control. There are some things that I don't like about this design, and that this needle valve, I had an extra one laying around because I had replaced the engine in that truck of mine, and so I salvaged the needle valve off of that. You should be able to get one fairly easily, but it's still a little more obscure of an item. It's not something you'd find at Walmart, and it still requires some fabrication on your part, on the experimenter's part, to attach it to your tank adapter here. There's another issue with this needle valve in that it doesn't really have a closed function. It's not designed to seal shut, because this is supposed to adjust very, very accurately the flow of liquid through here, the fuel. And so there's no need to shut the fuel off. And so you can run this needle all the way in until it plugs the aperture, but it's not really designed to do that, and I find it's difficult sometimes, especially when this thing gets cold after use. I can turn the gas almost off, but not completely off. But then I got to thinking, if this isn't proprietary and it's somewhat standardized, if I was able to locate this that uses the exact same setup, what else might use this arrangement here? And I remembered a friend of mine had this little airbrush kit that, rather than using the expensive compressor, just use a can of propellant. Anyways, I went to my local hobby store and I went over to their airbrush supplies and located this piece. And check it out. There you go. That piece cost me about $9. This here is a 1/4 pipe thread, male pipe thread. I don't know if it's tapered or not, it might be straight. I got a hose barb here, 1/4 female there. I'm going to get some Teflon tape onto those threads. I'm going to hook it up. I'll be right back.